11:30 a.m. on Monday, April 28th, 2025. Now, I've been speculating all the things, suspicious activities that have been going on this floor. I'm thinking more it's of a home terror. The Inuit gentleman who lives down my hall, it's his place. But yet there's two other people living there. He's there. They went running around naked around the hallway at that time. All of them on something. And the locks were changed with the one down the hall who beat me up, sitting out there with his dog's bed out in the hallway, watching the whole thing. Now, I know community housing has been trying to crack down on home invasions and all that, and so forth. So I'm not sure exactly what's being done about these troublemakers now. But yeah, it seems more like a home invasion. And from that other video, when I talked to him when he came here asking for help, we did interview live there. And he was talking in his home invasion. But he mentioned something about his cousins being there. I don't see them anymore. Now it's two new people there. This Caucasian guy with little goatee and tattoos on him, this big red-haired girlfriend or wife or partner or whatever, I don't know. But they obviously seem to take advantage of this Inuit person and taking over his place. Unfortunately, it seems like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, he's a nice guy and they take advantage of him. So they try to take over his place. It makes more sense that it's a home invasion. Could be also sex trafficking thing or pimp and prostitute thing, as I mentioned before. But it's definitely a home invasion. Considering that he came to my place and we had an interview here, live streaming, when he came asking for help here, about that it is a home invasion, that it is his cousins, whether his real family is involved or someone else is involved. But it's definitely not right. It's his place. They take over his place and so forth. He's not messed up like that usually, but they mess him up. Probably drug him up or God knows what. Who knows? But it's very disconcerting. I'm going to double check that video when he was talking about the home invasion and everything. I'm going to try to transcribe all the words. I'm going to try to give it to the police, but then the death threats will go against me and violence will be inflicted upon me again. They want to beat me up down the hall, cause violence toward people. When I got home early on today, after a good day at St. Joe's, getting things done, going to Wabano for elder giving us some wonderful teachings and everything for a couple hours. When I got home, the guy who hit me, assaulted me, was way down at the fire alarm where the other guy was pulling the fire alarms. So I came home and I saw him down the hall. I looked at him. I didn't drink anything. I just had coffee and anyways, that's a good thing. But I came down and I'm like, what are you doing? You guarding the fire alarms? He said something I couldn't understand. But he was standing right by the fire alarm when it was pulled by the guy down the hall. He was standing right by the fire alarm there. And I looked at him. He was just there, standing there near the fire alarm, staring at me. What are you doing? Guarding the fire alarms? I don't know what happened. Did they pull the fire alarms? Or is he pulling the fire alarms trying to set them up maybe? I don't know. There was no fire alarms pulled when I got home, but God knows what may have happened or may not have happened early on. I just found it interesting he was by the fire alarm at the edge of the hall where the other guy was, just stand there. And I saw him and called him out right away. I saw him, I recognized him, and I wasn't scared because he tried to attack me again. He was too far down the hall to chase me. I just got in my apartment. But that was kind of weird and iffy. That was very suspicious in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe they were setting fire alarms off again early on for all I know. I don't know. Who knows what may have happened? And yeah, that's very suspicious. So one of these people are transferring out of here. I'm trying to get transferred because I actually experienced an actual assault. I ended up in the hospital, and I didn't get priority for that at all. I'm still ticked off at that. That's one thing I'm really ticked off at. And yeah, that's the thing. But home invasions are very serious. Okay, I'm just going to give you a definition of home invasion. Just give me a second. Home were held captive, sold to kill. Okay, that is a really serious things. Home invasions, 3 arrested deadly woodland home invasion. Okay, now here is the Wikipedia definition of a home invasion. Quote, a home invasion, also called a hot prowl burglary, is a subtype of burglary or in some jurisdictions a separately defined crime in which an offender unlawfully enters into a building, residence, while the occupants are inside. The overarching intent of a hot prowl burglary can be theft, robbery, assault, sexual assault, murder, kidnapping, or another crime, either by stealth or direct force. Hot prowl burglaries are considered especially dangerous by law enforcement because of the potential for violent confrontation between the occupant and the offender. And that has happened at this person's place where these girls got in a fight and there was a bloodbath in the lobby. So violence has been already inflicted in this regards, which happened just mere months ago. And I mentioned that on my YouTube channel about this bloodbath. And there was blood streaks on the wall toward my door, although I heard nothing. It's like someone got blood from downstairs and streaked it toward my door on purpose as a warning toward me, not to whistleblow against them or something. I don't know. It seems like that to me, a warning to me. So the first time I got threats like that, sort of threats or messages and so forth. One time I had a newspaper that looked like it was burned. I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was so tired and burned out from cooking cans. I just kind of tossed it away and I thought about it after, like, is this a threat toward me about, like, I don't know, who knows? But why was this burned paper in front of my door? I don't know. That was kind of weird. It's another incident of a indirect threat toward me. I didn't have my phone, so I could not take a picture. But yeah. But I think I heard the police talking outside, or security talking outside my door with the bloodbath. And I heard them talking. I was just waking up and I heard them talking. And then said, she's the Ottawa Wanderer. She has a YouTube channel. Oh, yeah. Then they didn't knock on my door. They kind of talked a bit and they left. I got up when I got up, had my shower, blah, blah, blah. Came out. See little blood streaks along the wall toward my place. I'm like, another fight happened. I didn't hear anything last night. And I'm like, I never heard anything. That was kind of weird. Then I went downstairs and I saw in the lobby this big pool of blood and the blankets there and everything with a big beer bottle by the front. And I heard that there was a big giant fight going on about these 2 girls who went in the hallway. The guy down the hall who suspected home invasion and all that said that he got in a fight over something stupid, and it was his friend who got in the fight. So that's kind of like really weird what's going on. Was it the redhead girl who was involved with that guy with the tattoos, the goatee, who's has keys to that place now? It's his place, but they have keys to his place. I don't know where he is. Haven't seen him at all. So did they home take over his place and they kicked him out? Where is he? I don't know where he is. I'm going to ask questions downtown and see if we've seen him and so forth. I have a picture of him on my Google Pictures, smoking cigarettes at the neighbor who moved out to make sure he was okay. But I got his picture anyway. And yeah, so I'm going to go over that video again, transcribe it, uh, and so forth. That is the thing I am thinking about right now, is safety. And the fact that these home invaders know who is naive and manipulated easily. My ex-boyfriend was home invaded as well, and they followed him here. They even tried to get to me, trying to home invade me. But they did not expect the OCs was right there in the morning, as I knew they would. And then when he knocked loudly on the door, they took a fastened speeding bullet. Those two troublemakers. And I haven't seen them around, for a while. So that's a good thing. Home invasions are still a big thing. And human trafficking, gangsterism, and so forth. Violence against women is very, 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 very rampant. I've been assaulted. The one upstairs has been assaulted too. I found out, got punched out. So when she punched the other guy in the face that time, unprovoked, seems like. And I brought him down here to put the alcohol wipe on his eye and everything, all that. The other neighbor downstairs warned him to stay away from me and so forth, which is good. Good for him, make which. I appreciate that. But at the same time, I do not want to be around people who are bad influences and so forth. I do not appreciate the neighbor right across me calling 911 on me, saying I'm torturing my cat. When I was giving her a bath because of she's so scared of the harassment. It was so bad. She was always hiding in the closet. And she's doing that again, and hope not no one's harassing again. I think they are, unfortunately. And we'll get the evidence. We will. If the guy who beat me up was down the hall guarding the fire alarm, and I said, I came home in a good mood. What are you doing? Guarding the fire alarm? I don't know what he said exactly, something short and everything, but I guess something must have happened in that regard too as well. It must have been a big ruckus. If he was down there by the fire alarm, guarding it, there must have been some trouble. Hence, that's why the cat was in the closet. I don't know what happened. I need to get a peephole camera so badly, and I will get it. Yeah. So far, it's quiet now. That's a good thing. But, yeah. Home takeovers should not be acceptable. The causing disturbance, what they do. I don't know what the charge is for when people run around naked in the hallway and everything. I have no idea what that charge would be. Would that be mischief? I have no idea. I'm going to check that out in the criminal code, just out of curiosity, and so forth. It's quiet now. Maybe they got arrested or something for all I know. I don't know why the guy in the hall was guarding the fire alarm. Why was he standing by the fire alarm down the hall? Or the other neighbor pulled it. I'm not sure about that. That was weird. I don't know what he was thinking of doing. I don't know. Who knows? Why was he standing there like that? I have no idea. But that was kind of weird and suspicious a bit, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah. Um, even though it's summer and spring, I guess home takeovers are seasonal. It doesn't matter about the season. They happen all the time. Probably more in the winter, but it's still always there anyway. And that's the thing we have to be aware of and be educated in as well. So that's my little topic for tonight. And that guy who streaked around naked, when I was going to O Train, he was at O Train stop too, and he kept looking at me. I recognized him. He kept looking at me and glaring at me. I'm like, what? Like just coincidence we got there, or he followed me there. I don't know. Then I saw him again coming home after catching some cans before I got my um, things. And he was there on his bike. He had a bike. He has a bike too. And he said goodbye to me, and I recognized him again. I'm like, oh, what the hell are you doing? There's too much of a coincidence. What's going on? So that guy might have, I bet you $1,000,000 that guy has a criminal record. Tattoos on him, little goatee, the redheaded girlfriend. I don't know about her. And she, a girlfriend, a wife, or common law girlfriend, or a prostitute, or what? A partner in crime. Who knows? I don't know. But something is going on there, obviously, which is very, very suspicious. Just going with the facts of things. And if this person gets evicted because of their home takeover at his place, it's not his fault. Those people who are in his place should be evicted. Yes. First, it was those other guys, his so-called cousins. They're not there anymore. Now it's these two people, which I find is very interesting. It's really strange that first it was those other people always at his place, and then now these other two people have keys to his place and everything. And the lock was definitely changed. Obviously, that one night I told you about in my YouTube stream before, and so forth. It doesn't take half an hour to change locks. Why did it take half an hour? It doesn't make any sense. Amateur criminals doing a half-assed job, probably high or drunk or God knows what. And it's obviously not an OCH lock. Who knows? It doesn't take over half an hour to change a lock. Like it takes less than 10 minutes, 5 minutes for a lock to be changed. Less than 5 minutes by OCH lock changers. A locksmith specialist in the store take 5 minutes. Not half an hour or 20 minutes around there. Nope, it's impossible. So that's another thing to look into about this place. Yeah. The cat's being neglected and everything, all that. Going through all this stuff. What's going on there? Criminal activity, the streaking naked in the hallway and everything, those idiots. Very funny. It's not funny at all. And my neighbor across from me took a picture of the Inuit guy. But I bet you $1,000,000 she never took a picture of the white guy with the little goatee and the tattoos posing in the chair. She didn't take a picture of him. You notice that? Makes you wonder if she is racist in a way. Calling animal control on me. Doing that. Smoking crack there too, because I smelled crack. I had to report her once, and I smelled crack again. She instigated something on the last breakfast. Like she didn't have to yell and start instigating to try to provoke me. So I started yelling back and saying, "Look, you don't do this to me. You don't threaten me. You don't do this." And she said, "You kicked in my door and everything." Yes, because I thought you stole my cat because you were aggressive toward me in the first place. And that is the thing. Unfortunately, she's got into drugs, unfortunately, and sad thing. She's not around nowadays. I don't think she is. She probably went traveling again. Do you remember the truckers convoy, sister? Well, it was good or bad for everyone in your area. Yes, Xavier, I do remember the convoy. I did record that on my YouTube channel, and I put music on there too, as well, with text and everything back then. I got there in the early morning. There was another YouTuber or TikToker. No, he was a YouTuber. He got arrested for going around the daytime recording, and they arrested him for no reason at all. They just were recording stuff, and one of them said he under arrest. And yeah, so I don't go in the daytime when everyone's around like they did. I went down at 6 a.m. in the morning just to record the trucks, and then record, go around and everything, all that. I edited music on there, interviewed somebody who's talking about that as well, briefly, before she went to work. I got there at 6 a.m. in the morning, around there, just to record it when everyone was asleep and it was all quiet. So that's when I went for the convoy at that time, just to record it briefly and so forth. It was bad for all the smoke and exhaust from the trucks did affect a lot of people physically because there was so many of them downtown. It did affect a lot of people physically with asthma problems and so forth, and it did affect their health in those cases for those people, unfortunately. It was a very turn of events there that time, Xavier, when the convoy happened here in Ottawa. But I did not participate downtown in YouTubing at all. It was just too dangerous and too risky. Like if I had a gimbal on my phone, the police might have mistaken it for a gun. Even one of the other YouTubers said that as well, which is a smart move to do. And the other one who was recording, the cop arrested him. I'm not sure why he arrested him. Maybe it told him to go away. He went away and came back again. The same guy recognized him and arrested him. I don't know. But they arrested him, and it was live on YouTube as well before it cut off. So I don't know what that was about. The same YouTuber puts down Ottawa, saying Ottawa's the most boring city. Ever since then, he hasn't been on YouTube ever since, I noticed. But I was mad. Like, you don't call Ottawa a boring city when you were YouTubing in Ottawa. And you don't say this, you don't insult Ottawa when you were in Ottawa. Nope. He insulted Ottawa as well as YouTuber, the one who got arrested during the convoy. That guy is an idiot. No offense, but he was an idiot to do that. If you're in Ottawa, you do not insult Ottawa. No, you don't do that. It's no wonder he got arrested during the convoy. Just a troublemaker, I guess. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, he dug his own grave. But yeah, that's the thing. So I'm gonna check out the YouTube video of him being arrested again, just of curiosity, maybe. Why not? Double check it out. Why not? He was a comedian and being like a comic, like Tom Green was before the convoy and everything. He was more of a comic, trying to be a comedian. He approached me, my other friend, trying to subscribe to his channel, and he said, "I'll subscribe to yours," but he just ended it after that. With close to 1,000 views, he kept bugging people, harass people to get people on his channel. I'm like, oh, sure, what the hell? But that guy is like, no offense, he's a dork. If you live in Ottawa, you don't insult Ottawa where you live. That's the thing about him. I can understand why he got arrested by the police there when he was down YouTubing during the convoy. He probably was just being young and not like inexperienced, maybe reckless. There's nothing wrong with being reckless. There's nothing wrong with being impulsive, but there are a lot of things. No, not Ottawa Walks. Another guy. What was his name again? The young guy. That Ottawa Walks too smart for that. Ottawa Walks knew about the not use the gimbal because the police might think it's a gun. He was smart about that, Mike. And the other guy, oh, what was his name again? The young guy. He was the one who got arrested. Then he made another video insulting Ottawa, saying Ottawa is the most boring city in the world. So I unsubscribed from him after that. Like, you don't insult Ottawa, like that was just kind of insulting for us, That's just not right. But yeah, he's younger. He's probably in his 20s and everything. He's learning. He's feeling out the ways. He's exploring the ways of YouTube, being reckless, being impulsive. He's learning. Badly learning, though, unfortunately. And, that's the only thing. I mean, now it's been about, quite a few years later. He's probably more experienced now. Hopefully he's being more mature about it and so forth. And good morning, David Bangor. Good to hear from you, too. Just talking about home invasions with neighbors, the way the street around here are naked and everything, all that, pulling alarms and everything, all suspicious activity going on here, and so forth. And now it's going on to Xavier there talked about the convoy back then. And we're talking about how I laid low and did not YouTube at all in the daytime. Everyone was around. So because I better play safe than sorry. I went in the early morning and recorded it and put some music on, just checking on the trucks. A few people talked to me as you saw in the video. But they didn't stop me. They said, okay, go ahead. RCMP guy and security guy, and they talked to me, two of them, and they let me go. Like, oh, she's harmless. She's going to just record quietly. There's no one to talk to anyway. But yeah. So the convoy was quite a thing, that's for sure. It was quite a thing. I did not engage in it in the daytime due to all the people and all the things going on downtown and so forth. I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially as a woman. Ottawa Walks was a guy. The other guy was a guy too. But as a just woman, I decided it was too dangerous for me in the daytime to go there, just to be on the safe side. And then I took a chance going in the early morning when it's dawnish, before the dawn came up. That's when I did my stream. So, way before the opioid crisis started happening very actively too. Well, I didn't watch the convoy every day. I was more involved with the opioid crisis that was just starting up. And, well, I was busy watching my YouTube channels and just researching a lot of things going on all over Ottawa and all over the Ontario and so forth. I remember that. Oh, that's how you found me. Well, that's cool. So Xavier, you found me through that video I did with the convoy. How do you like the video I did with the music and the text and everything, all that? There's another streamer down in Toronto who made a mistake, and people complained about him. Kind of gave me the heads up, like in a way, like not to do what he did, same mistake. So I put a text right away. It's only for observation only. No, all that, as you know. Yeah, cool. And a Toronto streamer told me that he did a mistake, and people complained about him about things. So I avoided a mistake by right away saying that in text about it's not discriminatory. It's just for observation and you're just to watch. That is the thing. I remember that. It's like these days as a YouTuber, you have to be careful about even recording kids in the park. The Toronto YouTuber made the mistake of recording kids in the park, putting his camera toward there on his phone. And then some people started getting aggressive toward him, saying, no, you don't film kids in the park. So that's one thing too as well. You have to be careful about that. So I never really tried, whenever I saw kids or families, I try to turn the camera away or something like that, which is a very delicate situation for them. And there are a lot of parents out there after kids and so forth. And they are very protective of their children. And that's the thing. So it's one thing to look into as well. Racism is on the rise, even from people outside Canada. It's very, very bad. It's horrible. I was leaving the Wapano Center after listening to the elder there for many hours. And I was walking home. There were two African women, no racism intended. But when I walked by, they called me a just another hooker bitch. And they actually said that as I walked by. And they don't even know me. I'm coming from Wapano after listening to an elder for many hours. I'm dressed in my little black, like my little casual Shania Twain top, my leather jacket, my backpack, my purse. And I'm walking home happy, feeling very calm after the elder spoke with us. And these two African women, two of them, they own the store probably down just by Montreal Road. I've seen them before. And, oh, another hooker bitch. What the hell? Racism. Total racism. Every damn day I have to deal with this. And it's just really hard. What ticks me off, all these newcomers to Canada are totally racist toward Indigenous people. And it just makes me sick to the stomach. It gets to, especially in the neighborhood of Vanier. And they're all racist. They think all Indigenous people are hookers for some reason. I don't know why. Another one from Africa. Well, he's actually from not Africa. Um, I was listening by the bus stop, and I was just kind of listening in the conversation. He actually said, 88% of these Indigenous people are all hookers. It's like, what the hell? That's the most racist thing I've heard in my life. That was sick. So, the racism has got to stop. I'm getting support from the media, my friends. If you check out the Ottawa Sun in Ottawa and the Ottawa Citizen in Ottawa, and you're going to see my name, you're going to see, you're going to see my full name. They mention my full name in the article about my struggles, cutting cans and so forth, and the difficulties I deal with, and how the food banks are getting less and less in their food. That's why we have to cut cans. But I'm getting a lot of support, financial support now, and a lot of emotional support from more and more places and so forth. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful. Megwich. Megwich means thank you as well. So I'm very thankful for all of this, all the help I'm getting. Oh, you read the article, eh, Dave? Yeah. I'm getting some financial support from people. And I'm going to get a job too. I got a job offer interview tomorrow from somebody who reached out to the article, to the reporter who contacted me about the job, which is good. Very good. And yeah, things are tough. Oh, that's really good. You bookmarked it and everything. It's in the Ottawa Sun as well. Ottawa Citizen, Ottawa Sun, and it's on the CTV News as well. My other friend told me like the articles on CTV News and like they mention you. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, that's very very good. And good night, Xavier. It's good to hear from you. Good to talk about the convoy days and so forth. But yeah, sweet dreams, Xavier. If you dream, we'll talk again soon and so forth. It's a good thing. Yeah, you bet your life savers. And that's one term we don't say too much anymore. You bet your lifesavers. That's an 80s term. So yeah. What time is it now? It's past midnight, 12:07, and I had some good food today. I had some lasagna, leftover lasagna for supper. Plus, I had two pizza slices from St. Joe's Women's Center and macaroni. And then what else do I have? That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Actually, it's two big meals. Well, two and a half big meals. But it's really good that my stomach is being filled up. That's the main thing. That's the main thing that counts. So I'm gonna have to budget properly. Food is the main important thing. New job in prospect. Get some. Just depending on the dress code, have to get ready for that. And if I'm gonna be working in a call center, I gotta talk slower. Not talking like this like all the time like I usually do like this and everything. But I can do that. Just make sure I don't put an espresso in me. But yeah, it should be doable. And yeah, that's the main thing that counts. And then I can actually afford good food, good trout, good sardines, maybe a steak once in a while, and so forth. Good multivitamins. And multivitamins are so expensive these days. Oh, I was looking at the vitamins in a lot of places. Like Dollarama has some vitamins, but it's very small. Like the minimum they do. Like the B50s, which is high in vitamin B, costs like $20 in the store. B100s is like $32 in the store. Just crazy. Multivitamins are vitamins are basically over $20, $18 if you're lucky on sale, maybe $16. But basically they're up to the skyrocket, like up to the max. Vitamin D is going down, of course, because summer is coming. In the winter, you're lucky to get it on sale. In the summer, when we get vitamin D from the sun, it goes down in price. Of course it does. I guess that vitamin D is for the night workers who don't get any sunlight or stay inside all the time. That'd be good for them. That's the main thing that counts. And good. Hello, my tip Savage. Good to see you too in the chat. How are you doing tonight? Just talking about home invasions and possibly human trafficking and stuff from the neighbors down the hall. Suspicious activity. Then we started talking about the convoy. And now we're talking about how things are so tight in the community, grocery-wise and so forth, and vitamins. And keeping healthy is very, very tough. So, yeah. I'm just winding down on my chat right now. Talking a long while, but there's no problem with that. It's good to hear from you guys. Everything's so expensive. That's the thing. Food is expensive. Pet supplies are expensive. And whatever you do, I would not get Dollarama wet food for your cat. Not every cat may react this way, but my cat gets sick with the Dollarama wet food, even though it's much cheaper. The Walmart cat food is probably more affordable, and she can digest that properly. That's a good thing that counts. Also, she's been going through a chewing stage again. She's been chewing my wires, chewing my other charging wire. It's like she's regressing back to her kittenhood when she was chewing everything. And unfortunately, she's chewing the blanket there, the wool blanket. She's starting to chew it, which is unusual new behavior. She is going to be 11 years old on June 10th. And then she's kind of throwing up the fur balls and probably the wool strings in her intestine. So I'm going to get rid of that wool blanket right away and get just a normal comforter. She can't chew that. And also I'm going to get some cat grass with the funds I've been receiving from my supporters and mix it in with the fancy feast. Because the cat grass, the grass you see in pet stores, the grass the cats can eat. As a kitten, they can eat it as a kitten. Or you can chop it up and mix it into fancy feast. And the cat grass will expel cat hairs, fur balls, and lint in their systems more easily. Kind of like a laxative. So this cat grass will help purge everything out of their intestinal system, and they won't get constipated and they won't throw up. So thanks to the funds I'm getting from my supporters, I'm going to get some cat grass, fancy feast. I don't think she'll eat it by itself. If she does, great. If she doesn't, I'll just chop it up and put it in her fancy feast. It seems like she's getting constipated and starting to throw up, so that's very disconcerting. Nick and time, though, I can get the cat grass tomorrow and fancy feast and help purge her system, furs, and the lint from the blanket she's chewing. And she's starting to chew cords again, which is kind of disconcerting. And she hasn't done that since she was a kitten. So, yeah. Maybe her teeth are bugging her. Maybe they're itchy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her, but we got to figure it out. Yes, Red Tip Savage, I gave her some catnip in the form of Temptations. Inside the Temptations is catnip. And she doesn't get affected by much, maybe because it's in the catnip. The Temptations. Maybe it's not as effective. So I'm going to get the cat grass and mix it in with a fancy feast. And she is kind of stressed out hiding in the closet because of the disturbances from the neighbors. I guess it happened again today. Soon seeing the guy down the hall by the fire switch. I guess more disturbances happened. That's why she's hiding in the closet. She's in the bed usually here. So I guess some bullshit must have happened again early on, obviously. Unfortunately. Yeah, Red Tip Savage, I think getting the actual catnip is probably a good idea. Got funds coming in, and I'm gonna have a good job soon, hopefully. So hopefully I can be able to afford these things for her and afford a good editing system for my YouTube. I'm gonna focus on that more. Get a gimbal and so forth, and get back into that. So one step at a time, one day at a time, and all that. Yeah. So, anyways, it's all about the home invasion that is definitely happening down the hall because those two people don't live there. He lives there. and the other people were not living there. Where the hell is he? I don't know where he is. I haven't seen him at all. It's like they totally took over. And they were all running around naked and everything. Of course, the racist neighbor right across from me took a picture of him naked to give the police. I was going to frame that and put it on the fucking wall. Oh my God, it's too funny. But then the other guy with the little goatee and the tattoos was posing in the chair naked. She didn't take a picture of him. Of course not. Why? Because he's racist? Calling animal control on me? What's with her? But she is smoking the drugs again. I could smell from her place and everything, all that. Unfortunately, it's sad. Oh, yeah. But yeah, something's gotta be done with these troublemakers. Keep moving strong toward your goals. You'll get there. And I'm so glad that our talked with us and everything. He was talking about some person who was going through trauma as well, who was very angry. Ugh, I get angry too and everything, all that. I TV once my ex-boyfriend gave me when cheated me with the neighbor down the hall. I got so mad. I understand that in a way, but I got so mad when I found out he's cheating on me with that man-stealing person who moved out now. So every one of my boyfriends think come back all in drugs, all of them, because they all had drug problems, and she targeted them. I got so mad. I grabbed my TV. I started smashing all over the place, and it was a gift for me. But I must admit, I got so mad when he cheated me with her. I smashed TV to bits and I threw it outside. I was so mad. I was so mad they cheated me with that bitch. Man stealer, troublemaker, prostitute. I don't know why these guys go for this piece of garbage. But anyways, that is the past. And my future looks good. So the main thing is that guy was cut. That guy was I was mind cheat on you. You're one of a kind. Yeah. But he prefers his drugs, going doing drugs and sex, and God knows what she drugged him up with it. With all three of them was stupid. The most recent ex went with her. The other ex went with her. And the other ex had heart attacks going with her, doing drugs with her. Hence the heart attacks. All three of them, but she goes in after them. She knocks on the door and all this and everything. So that's another thing that is very was very disconcerting at the time, but that's the past. And I'm glad they're gone. I'm very glad they're gone, and they yeah, because I am way better than that low life. If you're gonna hang out with her, just low as her, and I'm moving up the ladder. They can try to lie about me, defame my name, bully me, harass me, threaten me, assault me. But you're not going to show my spirit or my faith in goodness. And things are looking good now. And that's the main thing that counts. Despite all the harassment, all the racism we indigenous people face, any one of us face any discrimination, we can rise above it. And we can get good support systems and so forth. That is the main thing that counts. And yeah, it's very true that we are strong. There are better things. Despite the bullying, despite the racism, despite the discrimination, despite the lies and the defamation, all these birds of a feather flock together, they will win. Because Actions speak louder than words. That's the main thing that counts. And I'm so happy that I talked with the reporter, told my stories. It'd be nice to do another article again about the racism. That'd be an awesome thing to do. Do an article about the racism going on. And have somebody else who wants to talk about reconciliation and so forth. I got a map of all the history of all the things today from the elder today in our meeting early on. I'm going to talk about that. Study it and research it more before I talk about it, of course. I got that on my yeah, ever since way before that even. About when everything started happening in the act, residential schools and so forth. I got everything here. Got to study it more before I do a stream about that, or even a presentation about that. Collaborating with my associates there. So that's one thing we have to really talk about and let people learn. Especially newcomers coming to Canada, a lot of them are bad mouthing Indigenous people for some reason. Not all of them, there's a lot of good ones, but of course, there's some bad apples. Unfortunately, a lot of bad apples falling off the tree when they come to Canada, but the good ones too. They must be educated about our history. They can't just go around calling us Indigenous like garbage and everything, all that, calling us like all these names and everything, which I'm putting up with, and so forth. They have to learn our history, and we have to learn their history. We need a mutual respect. Now, I'm sure they've been through a lot of abuses and everything too. So it's a two-way street. You respect us and do not badmouth us. We'll learn our culture. We'll learn their culture too and try to respect each other. You can't go around bad-mouthing Indigenous people when you come to Canada. You can't do that. Nope. We have to learn to respect each other, learn each other's culture, and try to learn and understand each other and show respect. Because when you show disrespect and racism and discrimination, it spirals out of control into the craziness it is becoming. Unless we do something about that, it will only get worse. So those are the facts I'm talking about. I can't believe we're just talking about the home invasion thing and human trafficking and drug trafficking and all that. And now we're going on to everything else, the convoy and all this, and people come in Canada who disrespect Indigenous people. We don't know each other's cultures. We have to learn more and all this. And those are the facts. And the thing is, we have to learn one thing: trauma. Trauma can lead to a lot of things. Does not mean you have to be discrimination toward us, and then we lash out back in defense like a wild cat. We have to understand each other's cultures, and so forth. Because there's a lot of bad things going on in the world. Home invasions, drug trafficking, human trafficking. We have to protect our children. We have no time to fight each other. We have to fight a lot of bad things out there in the world anyway. There's too many bad fish to fry. That is the main thing that counts. So anyways, this is probably one of the longest chats I had for a while, huh? Hey, Red Tip Savage and David Bangor, and yeah. So yeah, that's a good thing. Gonna let you guys go soon. Wow, this longest chat, this is the longest video I've done for a while, almost an hour. So yeah, we talked about a lot, starting from home invasions to human trafficking, drug trafficking. down to the convoy, and now to what it is now. Racism, discrimination, and we have to respect each other. We have to learn about each other's cultures and so forth, which will hopefully bring respect and ground us from continual discrimination and racism and so forth. So one step at a time. That's about it I have for tonight. It's almost 12:30 in the morning here in Ottawa, Ontario. So I'm going to let you guys go. Take care, stay safe, make rich. And I guess I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night, my tip Savage, Dave and Bangor, and Xavier left us already. So yeah. Take care. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.